Well, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for another New in the Queue product feature. My name is Elizabeth Miller, CEO here at Quaint Business Solutions. And at Quaint, we're always trying to bring you the latest and greatest innovations in the B1 space. So obviously, we're going to bring you Boyum. Rosie, thank you for being here today. Today, we're focusing on the Netronics Manufacturing products that Boyum brings to the table. So Rosie, whenever you're ready, I'll turn it over to you. And then we will take questions at the end. So if you have any questions along the way, feel free to jot them down and we'll do a Q&A at the end.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. I appreciate it. So hi, everybody. My name is Rosie Coronado. Some of you probably know me, probably from previous webinars. Today, we talk about Netronic Manufacturing. So many of you probably like, what is Netronic Manufacturing? You maybe know our BS manufacturing. So Netronic Manufacturing is really a full package now for your LiDAR manufacturing solution. And if you have heard in the past cloud apps from Boyum, this is basically part of it. We renamed it this last year. So we renamed it Netronic Manufacturing because we do have a scheduling part in there now. So we acquired last year Netronic, which is a scheduling solution, and we have it already integrated into your SAP Business One. And we decided, okay, you know what? Netronic has been around. We're going to take our apps and we all call the whole suite Netronic Manufacturing. So what you see here, we still have our build. The build products where you can create bill of material on an app and then upload it to SAP Business One. Then we have our scheduling piece, which I will show you today, part of it. We have the scheduling piece where you can schedule your production orders. And the beauty is that it talks to SAP Business One. So you can pull data into your scheduler, advanced planning and scheduling basically, and pull the production orders into that scheduler. And then if you move stuff around like dates and etc. resources, then you can update SAP Business One with those changes. And the beauty is then you have produce. So we are talking actually about the middle part. We have produce, which are your terminals for SAP Business One. So it's totally automatic. You schedule, update SAP, produce looks at SAP Business One too, and it will update the data on produce, where your shop floor is actually executing your production orders. And then we have quality control. That's part of the Netronic Manufacturing, which is another app you can use. And of course, it's integrated with SAP. You plug it into your database and you have a quality control solution now. So why do I have built here quality control here and I have schedule and produce together? It's because they're kind of married. So you can buy them separate. So all those apps in Netronic Manufacturing, you can buy separate. But with scheduling and produce, it really makes totally sense to have them both. If you have enough production orders, you need a schedule, then of course you need a terminal for SAP to execute those production orders, or vice versa. So that's why we have them together, because it's like we married them. So Netronic Manufacturing, you probably have heard before when we talked about cloud apps, which is the same, it's all role-based. So we don't like to talk about features a lot. We talk about, hey, where am I hurting? So I'm in this operation and we really have nothing for quality control. Example, what we do, we have user-defined fields, we update those user-defined fields, and then we run queries against those user-defined fields. And then you maybe think, I really want to automate that. I really want to automate my quality control. I want quality control orders to be created automatically. I want to have quality control person walk around with a tablet and they see the orders coming in and go there and do quality control. This will be your solution. So everything is role-based, but today we talk about production, okay? Because we are talking about scheduling, and then we're gonna go on the shop floor and execute those production orders. That's what we're gonna talk about it today. So what does it do? I'm a big believer being paperless. I do not like paper. I don't like spreadsheets. Well, I do like spreadsheets. We all like spreadsheets, but I don't want to have data outside of my ERP system. So that's why you look at those Netronics Manufacturing, you're like, gosh, I've been running SAP Business One. We do production and we do so many things manually. We print out the production orders, we write on the production orders, and then I give it out to the shop floor, and then I have to yell out there and say, hey, what are you working on? When are you going to be finished? And so on. All this is going to go away with Netronics Manufacturing because you have full visibility. You schedule it, and then you see exactly on the shop floor who is working on what. You can see the names. Say, oh, Rosie's working on production order 100. She's working on the second step, on the second routing. So this is what manufacturing is going to do for you. No more paperwork. You have your little boards, your little dashboards. You know exactly what's going on. And your workers don't have to write stuff down because they have a start button and a finish button, and it will register time and material in your system. Okay? So schedule and produce together is a yin and yang. That's how our Netronic people call it, okay? So you recalculate, you have a nice board, and you see all your production orders, you have warnings, you have red signs that you have a problem here, or maybe a machine is going, needs to get maintenance or broke down. All this you can record on the scheduling part. You make your changes, update SAP with it, produce talks to SAP, it will be updated, and you're good to go. So it's all automatic and no more paperwork. So let me pull it up. So you might have seen this. Remember, it used to say in the past, and I mention it because, you know, once a name gets changed that's so well known, it's sometimes so hard. You have seen this before. You probably see videos out there. It says Cloud Apps. So it's not called Cloud Apps anymore. It's called Netronics Manufacturing. So this still looks the same. You have build, remember, produce, and quality control. And now you're like, well, where's my scheduling part? I have it right here. Unfortunately, I don't have it here yet. I hope it's going to be here as a box. So I had to open it separate. So we're going to talk about produce, and we are going to talk about scheduling. So you have a board here with all the production orders. Well, first of all, we have this scheduling tool, this advanced scheduling connected to my SAP database. Very important for all of you to run scheduling, or actually, if you run Netronics Manufacturing, you need to have route stages in your database. I like to mention this because I still have customers that don't use route stages. Let me just log on. I'm sorry, my server logs off so quickly. You need to have route stages here, okay? Once you have it connected to your database, you say, hey, give me the data, input my data from SAP Business One. And once you change stuff around, you send export. So maybe I'm moving stuff around and the dates have been changed. Then you can export to SAP Business One. So that's the beauty on the scheduler. It doesn't do it every time you change something. You decide, because remember, we want to play around with my production orders. We want to play around and see, hey, what's the best way I move stuff around? So what can you do? Those are the due dates here. The red is like, oh, you're already too late. If I go over here, you have different views. You have the, this is the production order view. I can always go in here. I have a little tooltip. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I can also right click here and click on edit. Okay. So I see all the information right here about this production order. I also see there is 3 operations and actually it has been started. That means produce started it already on the other side. There is some additional information over here. And then you can also put hyperlinks over here. You can also go in here and change the sequence. Maybe you say, I really need to put this production order, it's number 13. I need to move it up. It needs to be taken care of a little bit earlier. I forgot the number it was, but it will recalculate everything else for you. Or you right click, let me take a red one, or you right click and say set sequence number. So this is sequence number 9. Okay, give me the sequence number it should be so I can actually make it to the due date. So it says you need to change it to 4. So the system really does a lot for you. It recalculates, and you have an issue with something, you just say, okay, what sequence number should I do if I want to be able to reach the due date? I'm sorry, I have a line down here. It's in my way. I know you cannot see it, the Teams line. Okay, so you have the production. Oh, sorry about that. The production order view right here. You have also a resource group view. Okay, this is the resource group view. And yes, you can use resource groups. There is a way in SAP Business One, we have resource groups. We found a way that schedule can actually come up with a group. Those are scheduled. If you move it to another group, what it's going to do is, if I write this back now to SAP Business One, it will actually update that route stage from the group to machine 1, because it's actually the machine 1, machine 1 I'm going to use for this production order. So this is really nice. So remember, you can do resource groups and you can tell it which resource you want to use for this production order. And so this is a resource, this is by resource groups. I only have one group here, and this one is by resources. And every time I click on something, you see those little arrows. It's like those route stages go together. So you always have the link to the route stages. So this is by resources. And now you see right here, there's a yellow box and there is a, this is today's date. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit late with everything. There is a pink box. And if I right click here on the junior technician, I'm going to see what's going on here. Why? What's going on? What this means that this junior technician is out on sick leave till the 31st. So imagine how cool this is. You have people as resources. So maybe the senior is calling in and say, I just came from the doctor, I'm going to be sick or whatever. And you say, okay, I'm going to be sick till the 28th, starting today. And, oh, I got to do a plus sign, right? That would help me. Let me do this. The 28th. And you're going to see right here, I'm going to be on sick leave for whatever. And as soon as I do this, it's going to recalculate it and it's going to show this. I guess I didn't save it. It will show it pink. Let me see if it did. No, I didn't, because I did it wrong. See how when you do actually, let me do miscellaneous. Let's see what color that gives me. And it should, it doesn't take it because it doesn't. I'm not saving it for some reason. Anyway, but you see the other two, it's not saving it. You can see, or this one, what's wrong with this machine? So if you go edit, you see this machine has maintenance. And the beauty is it's going to go in there. They know you cannot use it and it's going to start recalculating. It's going to tell you, hey, you have a problem here, or maybe I need to move it to another machine. If you need to adjust something, it's, we love drag and drop. So you go in here, let's say I'm going to start this here. You just drag and drop and all the other ones kind of follow, and it drag and drop. And again, you play with your resources, you play with your production orders, you write back into SAP Business One. What I like also, I'm very color coded. You can also have different views. So I have two defaults for whatever reason. You can pick the colors you want. I like this. I'm a big color person. I want to make it easy. Maybe these are production orders. Maybe they're started, I think. They're overdue. So you can do different production orders by your settings, and you can color code it the way you want it. Okay, those are released. Those are planned. Those are exceeded. Those are tasks, route stage 002. So you can color code it. So once you're done, I'm the scheduler. I sit in here. I sit in here and I schedule all day long. I'm okay. I'm not going to get any new data from SAP. Whenever you want to get new production orders, you just click this. But I'm good with this now. I'm going to write it back to SAP. So what happens next? You write this back to SAP. It goes hand in hand, you know, like a married couple, produce and schedule. So it goes hand in hand. Now, the data on the produce side, the date will, of course, update. So let's say I change the due date. It will update here, of course, because this looks to SAP, and this one I don't have to get data from SAP. This is real time. If SAP changes the due date, it will change here. It will be changed here right away. Or I had a resource group, and now I decided I'm going to use machine 2 for this route stage because I see machine 2 has some availability. It will show the operator that it will be whatever machine they have to use. So it goes hand in hand. So what is produce? First of all, you have a beautiful dashboard. Shop floor. It's all real time. I got it scheduled. Now I'm sitting on the shop floor and I need to make sure that all, first of all, I want to see who is working on the shop floor right now. Nobody's working. Okay. I have a detailed view of all the production orders. They are released or they are planned. And I see also that what's the status on those production orders. Hey, there was one with 3 route stages. Remember, I talked about route stages. You need to have them, and this completed. I'm the manager and say, I really want to see who did them. I can always drill back. Remember, no more paperwork, no more writing on paper, and say, okay, the first step on this production order, Cora started it, did partial stops, and then Vicky completed it with partial stops. Then the second one, again, George started it and then Cora completed it. So you will always know who worked on those route stages and who completed it. Okay, that's the beauty of it. Full visibility. You also see the priorities. And again, you work with the schedule. The schedule throws it over. Maybe they changed the due date to an earlier due date. You have a little cheat sheet here and say, okay, I want to change the priorities. I wanted to look at the due date. My production orders usually take about 10 days. I mean, I'm just making stuff up. And when it's 10 days out, I want the priority changed to medium. And if it's 5 days out, I want it to change to high priority. And so you as the production floor manager, you have those here too. And you make sure that they are working on the high priorities. Or maybe you say, I'm going to change this to low priorities because this customer still owes us money. We're not going to start production till whatever, right? And you can always sort by that. I can come in here, show me all the high priority. How does it look? Oh, they haven't started working on it. Oh, the reason they haven't started working on this one and this one is most likely because I didn't make it visible to the operator. It's another great feature. So I'm not talking about features, but you can say make it visible to the operator. Okay, meaning now they can see it and they can start working on it. I don't know why it doesn't let me. Oh, I didn't approve it yet. I gotta approve it. Now I'm releasing it. It was planned. Now I'm gonna approve it. It will check it now to make it visible. Or you say, you know what? I do not want it to make visible yet because I really want him to check everything else first, to finish everything else. So that's totally up to you. I know it's a little bit slow. I don't know why. The other thing you can do, I get this question a lot. I'm going to show it to you. George, actually, let me get it. George gives me trouble. He's my little guinea pig for everything. So when Cora logs on, she can only see route stages with machine 1 and 2. That's all she knows. And that's what she's certified on. So she won't see any other route stages. You also can say, hey, can they work on more than multiple route stages? I have customers that say they can only work on one, concentrate on one. So you can say no or yes. And can they change the time? If they work for a while and then it took them a little bit longer, are they able to change the time? If it's set to manual, you can say no. So you have really full control. So you're the manager, full visibility. Now let's go in. I'm coming to work. I'm logged in as Vicky, and I'm going to click on this. There was some partial stops I did. And even the operator, so blue is partial stop, green is done, yellow is in process. Even the operator can go in here and say, who did this partial stop? Oh, the first operation, George did, Vicky, there's George, and so on. So they can see the full visibility here too. Who did what? So I'm going to say start. And when I say start, I see a button here called instructions before that. Remember, you can do instructions for each route stage. That's your text line. And remember, you can add a hyperlink. I just did 2 demos yesterday. Actually, I'm going to do one after this. It's so popular. You can actually put a hyperlink in here because a lot of people said, hey, we are producing this. I want to add pictures. I want them to have access what it should look like. Makes totally sense, right? When we have to build something like IKEA stuff, they have pictures what it should look like. A lot of times it doesn't, right? Because we built it wrong. Anyways, so you can put a hyperlink for them, maybe to put pictures, whatever you need. I also see right here, this is my raw material. Both are set to backflush, so I don't have to do anything. You guys know what backflush means. I'm going to log off really quick, and I'm going to log on as... Hopefully I did. Oh, it's Cora. What I want you to see though is this. I'm going to go to the manager and I'm going to refresh the dashboard quick, and you see the manager says, oh, look, Vicky is working on 186 and she is using the testing machine. And she's working on the middle part. So ignore this, really should have done this before this. Okay. So as I said earlier, you have full visibility. So now I'm going to go in here as Cora. She did a partial stop here. What this means up here is like she touched this already. And she has 2 backflush. She has 1 she has to do. There's my instructions again. This is the machine she's using, and I'm going to start that. So it's a tablet you put aside, and now they're on the production line. They start working on it. And the manager again, let me refresh the dashboard. You see now Cora is on the floor working, and Vicky. So I have customers, they have 80 or 90, I forgot how many operators. They have a long list of operators. If you allow them that they can work on more than one, I'm just going to pull this one, more than one a route stage, she can start another one. And the way you would see that here, you will still see that she's working on 2. You see Cora is working on 189 and 192. So full visibility. Now, if I go here and so this has been running a little bit longer, well, not in a minute. So I go in here and I'm going to say stop. So remaining are 6, we completed 4 already. I'm going to say stop. So I can say more work is required. I only work like on 2 pieces. Did I have scrap? Yes or no? I'm going to say next. This is the time. This is backflush, so it will actually post this. If it's set to manual, then it would actually post this, and that's what I would recommend, of course. I see if the other one is manual. Right here, I see that this to a backflush, I have to issue this one. Bad example, I don't have any in stock, so I cannot issue it. I'm going to say next. And it tells me, hey, there's a problem. You're not issuing anything. and we expected you to issue 2. So why was I able to build it? So maybe my inventory is not correct. So I have to tell my manager, hey, you need to issue 2. There was nothing in the system, but we need to do an inventory count. I did have some pieces. For example, could happen. And I finish. And this is done. Now, again, I love my real-time visibility. So Core is only working on 1 again. So if I go to her again, and we're going to finish this one up, I hope this one acts a little bit different. It's probably the same. I'm going to go here. I say I'm completed. I'm going to complete the whole thing. Oh, it's the same, probably. Yeah, it's the same. I'm just going to let me find you another one before we finish because I really want you to see. Let me see this one. This is all backflash. But anyway, I could this one. Let me start this one. That might be a good one. Again, I have to require I have enough planned. I have this one in stock. So I'm going to do this one. Planned is 5, remaining is 5, completed is 0. I'm going to say stop. And we finish it. And I'm going to say I did 5, all 5. I didn't have any scrap. This is the time. This is what it's supposed to take. If this is set to manual, which I would suggest, and I don't know why I have to backflash and I cannot find an example, it would say 14 seconds and this would be posted. And this is the material now. And this is when they go in here and say, okay, I did 5. I'm supposed to issue 5. I actually took 6 here. I took 4 here. I do this on purpose. If you have serial numbers, if you have batch numbers, of course, we support that. You will have a drop down. If you have bin locations, we support that. It will ask you which bin location did you take it. Okay. And I'm going to say next. And again, this is what I want to show you. It tells you, hey, you're issuing more than expected. And here you're issuing less than expected. Yes, that's correct. So this is really going to go straight into SAP and it's going to do issue that receipt issue, taking it out the inventory as soon I hit it. And every time, I forgot which one it was, every time you go into SAP and you do a right click, when you post something, you will see issue for production, receive from production. It's all there for you. So I'm going to log on as Vicky really quick. We're going to finish her up because right now you see it's only Vicky working. So 186. So what we are going to do, we're going to do Vicky because otherwise I let it run. And I'm gonna, let's finish it. I'm just gonna finish and create some new production orders for the next demo. And this is what I want to see. I'm glad I did. You see, Vicky, this is set to manual. It's supposed to take this much time. That was my estimate. And it took only this. So this will be posted because it's not backflash. That's what I was talking about. Here my items are backflash, so it's totally up to you. You can also, maybe you're somebody you issue for production ahead of time. You can do that also. We have a setting in there. You're like, I don't want to do backflash. I want to have it manually, but I issue ahead of time. That's also an option for you. Okay, so produce, scheduling totally talks together. Okay, it goes hand in hand. You plan and then you execute those production orders. So let's let me move. I think I have a couple more slides. Industry. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. It really doesn't matter because you're using SAP Business One already. So I want to go paperless. I want to have automation. So it doesn't matter. If you have SAP, you do production, this is tools, it will tremendously help you. And there's the company types. I mean, it's discrete manufacturing, or yeah. If SAP, I always say it's really, if SAP works for you, then this will work for you because it will only automate your process and get rid of paperwork and have everything in one system. Your SAP Business One will stay your central database. Okay, so now we can go over to questions.
Hi, Rosie. I have a question.
Yeah.
On the produce, when you're importing data from SAP or sending data back to SAP, that's, right now like a manual process. But is there any way to put that on a scheduler for every 30 minutes or an hour, or maybe like once a day in case somebody forgets to click that button?
You mean the scheduler, right?
Yes, the scheduler.
No, right now it's manually. And we did it on purpose, Lauren, because the scheduler will know, oh, do I want more data? Maybe he's in the middle of scheduling and then 10 more production orders come in. So we want him to have the flexibility to get data when he wants to. Yeah. Well, it's a good question. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking if there was something, or at least maybe like a once a day thing overnight or something, if they forget to click the button, it might be nice to have some type of automated service that would do that. But I could see why you have it set to manually. But I'm just
Laura,
thinking that way.
Yeah, this is something you can always put up there as a feature request. If this is something right now, I have not gotten that yet because people like to have the control to do when they want it,
Sure.
Or send it back, because sometimes you move stuff around. It's not good. Let's say the half hour is up, then it would write back. Then the whole scheduling changes. Yeah, but it's I know what you're saying. It's like, you remember in BS manufacturing, we also have calculate. Remember? And you're right. In BS we say, okay, calculate every day at 6 o'clock in the morning or whatever, right? But then you can manually calculate it again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
And Rosie, can you speak to the licensing for these different modules? I believe they're all subscription based at this point, correct?
It's all subscription. Yes.
Okay.
So
awesome.
For produce, it's per user. So you need at least one manager and then whatever operators you have. On the scheduler, it's a different pricing structure. We have small, medium, and large. If you guys don't have it, Elizabeth, we can send it over. Ask the general manager to send it over. It depends how many planners you need. And the small, I think, has one planner and 1,500 tasks. Tasks meaning operations, route stages. So we have small, medium, large. That's a little bit different than what I'm used to it, but I have Stephen sent this over to you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Because it's very different than what I'm used to it too. Yeah.
Are there any other questions? Okay, great. Well, thank you, everyone. We appreciate you being here. Be sure to follow us on LinkedIn and check our email announcements for our next product feature, as well as other great things going on at Quaint. Also, don't forget to go out to our website, quaintbusiness.com, and our resource tab to find out other great information and follow-ups to these webinars. Thanks again for joining us today, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, Rosie, for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. Bye-bye.